Alright, we're back for some more Everlasting Summer. This is part 8, if I'm remembering these numbers correctly. If I'm getting these numbers right. I realized with the last one, I just end things off so suddenly. We're out of time, bye-bye. Alright. Just like it's all a natural flow of things. I could see a bathhouse behind the trees. Looks more like a regular log cabin to me. And why do pioneers have baths here? To stay clean? Olga had said something about repairs of the showers, though. No reason to worry about it now. There was soap and clean towels, so I quickly washed myself, went outside and breathed in a full chest of night air. Naked? Ah, it's so wonderful that a physical cleanliness brings out a spiritual cleanliness. All my problems, if not went away, then just became less important. It's like the water washed away not only dirt from my body, but also the anxiety from my mind. I suddenly started yawning, so I headed to the leader's cabin, rubbing my eyes. I didn't make even a few steps as Elisa jumped out from the bushes. You, what are you doing here? I was just washing myself. She had come to her senses and spoke again. And? What? I don't know what. Then why do you speak if you don't know? All my peace of mind vanished in a moment. Only the irritation and weariness stayed. Okay, if you don't mind. Wait. What else? If back there on the stage you thought that, well, I didn't want to offend you or anything. It's okay. I'm not offended. I just can't play the guitar. Nothing special. A lot of people can't. I felt that there were obvious signs of irritation in my voice, but I couldn't do anything about it. I wanted to speak everything in her face right here, right now. Exactly, you can't. Elisa obviously restrained herself from laughing. Oh, I already had enough of you. She totally drove me out of my wits that moment. In a second I would have started to yell at her. Or worse. Wait, would you just leave me alone? Lisa followed me but didn't try to stop me. I really didn't want to offend. Some invisible power made me turn around. Okay, can I go now? Yes, of course. In the moonlight, Elisa looked very beautiful, with a quick, guilty expression on her face. If you could just shut her mouth. What are you smirking at? Although, nothing. I just thought that if you'd be a little bit more polite. Then what? You're not to finish such phrases. Anybody could hit upon an idea according to own intellectual abilities. Who thinks like this? Then nothing. Well, you must finish what you started. There's nothing to finish. I'm very tired and I'm going to sleep. Stop right there. Don't make me run away from you. As if you can. She may be right. I'm already exhausted of this day, and naturally I had no intention to run after a bath. So what? What? If I would be more polite, then what? Try that and you'll see. Why should I do something for such a fool as you? Then don't try. What does it have to do with me? I sighed and dragged myself to the square. And you then? What? I replied without turning to her. Well, if I would, then you. I don't know what you're talking about, but let's think that I would if it's easier for you. Moron. Elisa yelled at me and headed to the bathhouse. The square shined with the cleanliness of German roads, which were washed with a shampoo, as people have told. Really? That's Slavia. And I just argued with Elisa and nothing else. What for? As it was really necessary. And her behavior. In any other situation, I would have surely said that Elisa likes me, and just hides it behind her rudeness. That's what I'm thinking. It is of no importance right now, though. I think he has a thing for her, too. Probably only because I chose this path. Relationships, love, anything. Maybe she's not even a human. And what if she'd been a human and all this would be happening in the real world? I drove these thoughts away and headed to the leader's cabin. Tiredness had overwhelmed me. Invisible obstacles, as if stopped me in front of the door. That was worded weird. Olga certainly would like to know where I was and why I missed the disco. Uh-oh. I'll get a full interrogation for sure. Counting the absence of Elisa on the disco, too, it wouldn't be hard to guess that we skipped it together. Oop. Alarm's going off because it's freaking 6 a.m. On the other hand, should I even tell her that instead of the disco, Elisa practiced playing the guitar and I just went with the flow? Nothing special, actually. Doesn't really matter why I left. So, at the same time, I thought that it would be better to keep silent. Well, I'll decide on the spot. Hey, kitty. I sighed and pulled the door handle. Knock, dude! Olga was already waiting for me, wearing a dress. So, Semyon, where have you been? Tell her that you've been with Lisa? Make up another excuse. You just make a giant entanglement of lies that's not gonna work, so tell the truth. It's always better to tell the truth. To tell the truth, I was on the stage with Elisa. And what did you do there? Play the guitar. I'm sorry. Play the guitar. Okay, that was not important. Why didn't you come to the disco? Well, frankly speaking, I don't like dancing. So what? That was a camp public event, which means every pioneer had to attend. She looked at me intently. You could just sit somewhere quietly. I'm sorry. I sighed. Okay. The leader softened. Go to bed quickly. The storm had passed. I tossed and turned, but couldn't sleep. My head was full of thoughts about music, guitar, and Elisa. I wonder, could I become a professional musician? And do I even want to be one? Why should I want to? It certainly would be pretty fun, but nothing else. Or is Elisa the reason? She is really like an energy vampire, sucks all your juices. My eyes started to close and I fell asleep a moment after. Day 4. I woke up from a hellish jingling inside my head. Oh, that's creepy. The jingle seemed to be coming from the depth of my consciousness. But after I came to my senses, I realized that the cause of this jingle was my alarm clock. Strange. Where did it come from? Why was it standing near my bed? What? It was 7:30 according to the clock. Olga had already left, and there was nobody to force me into coming to the lineup. Thus, I can sleep a bit more. I closed my eyes, but seemed like my consciousness had already had its coffee and was ready for a long, productive day. I need to get up. I should plan... Sorry. I should plan my day out. After all, I need to find at least something today. I need to find out at least something today. But still nothing came to my head. Fine. I need to wake up completely and wash myself. On my way to the washstands, I met Xenia. What got you up so early? Anything wrong with being up early? I don't remember what voice I gave her. Oh no. She looked at me as if I had insulted her. No, nothing. Just being curious. None of your business. Gosh, Xenia isn't very sympathetic, even in a good mood, but today she just looked furious. Cold water cheered me up. The fog in my head dissipated, and my thoughts started arranging themselves. Curiously, I started to worry about occupying a good place in the canteen more than about finding the answers. I brushed my teeth and was going to leave when a quiet waft passed my ears. It's probably a squirrel or some other animal. I heard another waft, this time a bit farther. I walked 10 meters along the path, searching for the source. Nobody, just the morning forest. A mooring forest. I returned to the washstands and saw Miku, who was looking for something in the grass. Noticing me, she smiled and jumped up to me. "Oh, hello. Good morning. I accidentally scattered my tooth powder, just trying to gather it all back." Oh, goddammit, I held enter again. Now that I know about this feature, though. Dude Grass didn't seem to be helping her. Just as Miku's... Okay, Dude Grass didn't seem to be helping her. Okay, that is... Yeah, okay. Are you sure that's a good idea? Well, why? What else can I do? I don't have any more. It was my last. She pouted as a child, who just had her favorite toy taken from her. Here, I'll give you mine. I digged in my bag. No toothpaste here. Strange. Didn't I just put it there? I walked away for just a moment, and now it's gone. Listen, looks like I've forgotten it. I didn't want to tell her that it had just gone missing. Knowing the sensitivity of this girl, it was safe to assume that vanishing household chemicals would impress her so much that her brain would reset itself in order to avoid overheating. Well, I'll go. Yeah, cheers. Visit us, me, in the music club. I'm still alone there, but I... Miku's voice faded in freshness of a summer morning far behind me. This guy's a dick. Every time he's talking to her, he just walks away. Mid-sentence. Getting back to the leader's cabin, I took my cell phone and looked at the battery meter. Enough power for a day, maybe even less. This guy's gotta have like a key or something. He hasn't charged it in 4 days. Possibly 5. Of course, it won't help me much in here, but still. Finding a charger in the 80s means inventing it. Still, regardless, the morning was shining beautiful. The bright sun was shining over the lost in space and time pioneer camp, Semyon, warming its tenants and filling them with energy to spend the day productively. Or in my case, to waste it in futile efforts to find an explanation for everything happening here. There was an unusual crowd near the canteen. Of course, there was no other place in the camp that pioneers loved as much as the canteen, but why crowding at the porch? I came closer to finding out what was going on. It looked like all the camp had gathered on the porch, but there were all the familiar girls, Olga and Electronic. So I just had to check something on my audio to make sure it was actually using the right microphone already in an episode and a half in. They were having a lively discussion. I drew closer. Ah, Semyon. Have you seen Shurik today? Nope, what's the matter? Hey, Spirit. Nope, what's the matter? We can't find him since the early morning. Disappearance of pioneers. Well, that's something new. What about, Ilyana? But he was with you yesterday. She was talking to Electronic. Yes, he was. So you woke up this morning and he wasn't seen anywhere near? No. Why didn't you come to me immediately? Well, I thought that he got up earlier and went for water procedures or something. Didn't he mention anything yesterday? Interjected Slavia. For example, that he's going somewhere, for instance. Nope. What exactly is so horrifying about that? Spirit, you can't step on my... No. She can't step on my keyboard. She's trying to help me continue the story. What exactly is so horrifying about that? It's only 9 AM. He might have decided to go for a walk. You don't know Shurik. She overlooked me seriously. Well, I don't. But I didn't see anything suspicious in that situation. Okay, let's stop panicking. We'll find him. How could he miss breakfast? Yana grinned. Exactly. It's time to eat anyway. Pioneers had proceeded into the kitchen. Yet again, I had no choice where to stick in. The only free places were at the table with Elisa and Ilyana. Oh, that is a deadly mix. Take a seat. She pointed at the chair next to her. I sat down. Aren't you going to grab your food? Good idea. I haven't thought about that. Breakfast didn't look different from yesterday's one, but it looked more appetizing. Or maybe I was just very hungry. Or maybe I was eager to finish it off as soon as possible to evade yet another of Ilyana's pranks. Want to go to the beach with us today? When? Right after breakfast. Generally speaking, entertainment wasn't on my agenda today, but if I was going to spend time thinking, why shouldn't I do it while getting the suntan? Eh? Sure, why not? Ah, cool. She smiled nicely. Bet you're planning another prank. No, not at all. Alyana waved her hands at me. Sure thing. Elisa grinned. I've already forgotten Elisa's voice. I'm horrible. She's all like that. I looked at Elisa attentively and suddenly remembered yesterday's evening. Her strange behavior, our quarrel. Oh yeah, she's being nicer. Is she? But now she looked as usual. Maybe there's no need to tell her anything, though I wasn't going to. At the end of the day, everything happening in the night stopped seeming unusual, as if all of that was just a dream. No way. I think she is right. Nobody doubts. Alyana took a tray with dirty dishes and stood up. Bon appetit. She said in such a way which left no doubts. Nothing good awaits me today at the beach. Is French like an actual language, or do they just feel like using that phrase? I shouldn't really say French is a language in Russia, because they've only ever said bon appetit. So yeah, probably just a French. Nothing good awaits me today at the beach. I'm not sure if I read that. Me and Elisa were left alone. I'm gonna stop doing that. You know, I guess I shouldn't be going with you after all. Why is that? Well, I've got something to do. And what exactly would that be? She looked in my eyes so that I didn't even find an appropriate excuse. I don't even have a swimsuit. Try mine. What? You think it will fit me? Give it a try. I don't think it's worth it. Don't be a wimp. We'll find you swimming trunks. The phrase only added to my fear. Wait for me by the canteen. I'll be back soon. Okay. There's nothing bad in waiting for her, is it? Is there? Finishing my breakfast, I left the building and sat on the stairs. Pioneers, all having their own business, were hurrying past me one by one. No one stopped by me. No one even looked in my direction. It seemed they didn't consider me a stranger, but exactly the opposite. Just another teenager of their age, their comrade, you could say. I caught myself thinking that I had started to perceive. I'm not sure. I think this is a C, not an S. I'm not sure. And an E. Perceive. Whatever. Perceive this camp and its inhabitants with not such a strong caution on the first day. Indeed, Elisa was back in a couple of minutes. Ready? Ready for what? She gave me the trunks. Though you could hardly call it trunks. It looked like pink boxers ornamented with butterflies and flowers. They were actual boxers. I'm afraid to ask, where did you get this? Too scared to put it on? Well, you know, I have no slightest intention to. I appreciated her joke, but wasn't going to become a laughingstock. Put it on, she said roughly. Why won't you try it on instead of me? I think the color of this bikini sets off your eyes very nice. Let's make a bet. I had no desire to accept her bets. No thanks. Alright, you go to the beach wearing it, or you swim naked. Weighing the pros and cons, the second variant seemed even better than the first. Really? I'm not planning to go anywhere at all. Then I'll tell everyone that you left these trunks in my house. Ooh. Why would I do that? How do I know? She bursted in laughter. I didn't want to argue with Elisa, so I decided to go to the beach in the end. But not in those glamorous trunks. So fabulous. Okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Don't be late. She ran away after saying that. She's not being such a old bitch. She's being nicer, so. Cool. I dragged my feet to the leader's cabin to get a towel and to find something like trunks. Olga was waiting for me in the room. Semyon, did you hear something about Shurik? Same as half an hour ago. I walked to my bed and took a towel. Are you going somewhere? Yes, to the beach. Wait, Do you have swimming trunks? You came here without any luggage, as I remember. Strange that this fact didn't surprise her during our first encounter. No. So what will you wear? My birthday suit. Good question. What? I don't know. Wait a minute. She walked to the wardrobe and unlocked a drawer. In a moment, she had usual black trunks. Where did she get it? More importantly, why? She's the camp leader. She gotta have these things on her. Someone from the previous shift might have forgotten them. Considering all the strange things of this camp, it wasn't really surprising to find men's swimming trunks in Olga's room. Thanks. The trunks were just my size. I got changed behind the cabin and went to the beach. A lot of pioneers had already gathered there, but I knew only Elisa and Ilyana. Come here. I walked to them and sat on the sand. I see you found something better. She stared at my trunks and smirked. As you can see. Come on, let's swim. I don't want to. Maybe later. I was not a fan of swimming. As you want. The girls ran into the water. Why have I come here? Why am I not looking for answers? Shouldn't I care about it now? Slavyanik seemed normal. Certainly a lot of strange things have happened to me during these 3.5 days, but not one of them, taken separately, seemed like anything supernatural. Especially since I didn't get any closer to finding even a clue. Quite the opposite. Everything that has happened has only confused me more. What alternatives do I have? You won't get any truth from local residents, though I doubt they even know it. Should I try to leave this place? I see a train in the background, but how far can I walk, concerning that I don't even know where I am? Turns out that my only option is to wait. After some time, the girls came back. Ilyana held something in her hands. Look! I looked up and saw a crayfish. Just a normal crayfish. Ilyana lied next to me and started to torment it. Leave the poor animal alone. Why? It is a crayfish. It's a crayfish. So what? It has a right to live too. I'll rip its claws off and ask the cook to boil it for dinner. Like we have nothing else to eat. I looked at Elisa. It seemed she was not totally interested in Ilyana's fun with a poor sea being. Tell her. What's wrong? It's a crayfish. It deserved it. It looked like the girls missed the lesson of nature studying in primary school and lacked care for the environment. Give it. I snatched the crayfish off Ilyana. As you wish. I was a little surprised she didn't resist. I looked in the eyes of the poor animal. They didn't express anything at all, but I thought that if it could speak, it would certainly be outraged. Maybe it would even go to the UN Convention of Human Rights. To tell the truth, I wasn't sure it would help. What? I took the crayfish to the river and set it free. Never mind, I'll catch more. There are plenty of them here, said Ilyana. No doubt about it, I mumbled. Time passed and I was getting sleepy. Oh, don't fall asleep. No, I fell asleep. I don't remember what I was dreaming about, if I was dreaming at all, but I woke up because someone shaked my shoulder. Olga stood next to me. Well, hello. Did you come to swim too? I asked, still being half asleep. No. It is almost time for lunch and we still can't find Shurik. If you didn't come to swim, then why are you wearing a bikini? The leader said, standing before me in a wet swimsuit. And? I wanted you to look for him. Seems like I'm the only pioneer in this camp. I was sincerely outraged. Every time it was getting clearer that Olga considered me her bellhop with a function of a slave. Or vice versa. If I come to you, then I want you to help me. Why exactly me? However, after giving it some thought, I decided to agree. After all, my shoulders and back got sunburnt while I was sleeping and searching for Shurik would let me get acquainted with unexplored locations of the camp. Okay. It was not exactly right to wander around, wearing only swimming trunks, so I should get changed first. In 10 minutes, I stood outside Olga's cabin, deciding where to go. Let's check the boathouse first. Maybe Shurik decided to pick some stones near the water. In worst case, I'll find his corpse. But I'm sure that it won't end up this way. I was crossing the square when somebody called me. Wait. Elisa came up and smiled. I immediately sensed a trap. It's a trap. Where are you going? I'm searching for Shurik. Olga asked me. And how is it? Exciting? She looked intently into my eyes, and I turned away shyly. Not really. But you know, a pioneer is missing. You're not freaking out because of such a minor happening. What do you mean? Only a few hours have passed. Maybe you just lost track of time while having a walk. Certainly, I had the same idea, but had not shown that. Yeah, that's true. But who knows what could have happened. Let me help you with it. With what? I got suspicious. In looking for Shurik. Oh, but I can do it. Oh, come on. She smiled at me, but there was something malevolent in the smile. Naturally, her smile was cute enough, but it really seemed to me like there was something behind it. Well, if you insist. Since I could not understand what's on her mind, I had no real reason to refuse. But before we go, I have to take one thing from home. Okay, I'll wait for you. You actually serious about standing there? Let's go. Okay. Oh, skull and crossbones. We came to Elisa's cabin. It would be like all other cabins, if not the Jolly Roger on the door. By the way, Ilyana is my neighbor. Oh, now I know why she's such a bitch. Okay. We're going in her cabin. We entered the cabin. Complete chaos inside really reminded me of my old flat. So why old? In general, I would imagine girls' rooms differently. Snow white sheets, walls, floor, and ceiling are shining, not a spot. But when it is considered that two most exemplary pioneers are living here, oh, by neighbor she meant roommate? Oh God. That's even worse. I feel sorry for her now. We were just staying silently for some time. And what did you want to take? Huh? Seems like I interrupted Elisa's thinking. Yeah. It's not here, actually. Wait here. I'll be back in a minute. She smiled and ran out. She seems really clumsy today. I began to examine the room. I wouldn't say that there was an explosion, just a decent mess. Well, at least by looking at all this mess, created in one pioneer shift, I can surely say that I am not the messiest person in the world. No, that's me. Decoration of my apartment took years to be completed. I wasn't thinking about anything in particular, was just looking around the room. Posters of Soviet artists, some books on the shelves, various household items. And then I realized that everything is wrong. Something will happen soon. Something bad. Uh-oh. Why did Elisa, leave me here all alone? There was a discovery to make. I felt in my guts that it's dangerous to stay here. It's going to explode. I came to the door and tried to open it. Locked. What a surprise. How did she manage to quietly lock me? Don't know what's on her mind, but I need to get out of here. I went to the window, opened it, and climbed out. Now I can go and take care of business, or... I chose the second option and waited. What is the reason she had me locked up? I wanted to know what was happening, plus I really wanted to see Elisa's face when she finds her room empty. I hid in the bushes next to the house and waited. I heard footsteps after some time. And you'll have to wait some time to see where this leads. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.